Capes and Conundrums. Santiago is comfortably sprawled out on his three-woman, one-man couch. That Sonier couches had padded and soft perches on the sides and back and devices that inverted the gravity in a beam around them. They hummed without much more indication of what was going on, and it looked like the three Sonier were standing around him as he sat, and it was making it very hard to not simply laugh at the situation. He was very aware that it looked absurd. He wants to offer a snack to see what kind of silliness he can get away with for things suddenly falling up and out of his grip. But he restrains himself. Apparently, the gravity-shifting Sonier couches are very popular, and the ceiling has just as many perches as the rest, and the walls are covered in gravity, inverting fields as well. If someone falls in this room, there's good odds that they're going to tumble through midair until someone helps them. But that's actually perfect for the Sonier themselves, as it lets them take off with lazy ease from everywhere in the room and simply fly out. So, what do they do if someone does something goofy and gets caught in all the gravity beams? Santiago asks in amusement, and Ambush Knight lets out a huff of amusement in response. Well, that depends on how big an idiot they are, she says with a smile. Stupid enough to stumble into a gravity field and not smart enough to get out and make the landing, Santiago explains. Well, they're probably flailing at that point. So it's not safe to fly up to them. You'll catch something in the face, and it's more than likely a fist or foot, Ambush Knight says. She then rubs her left eye. It's happened more than once when I helped out here. Really? Santiago says with a chuckle. I don't think you appreciate just how different a human and Tret are despite the skin-deep similarities, she says, and he snorts. Oh? Something you haven't told me? I'm a super soldier. Judging humans based on me is a bad idea. Most don't know how to casually kill while barehanded or wage a one-man war, Santiago explains, and Shadowflight scoffs. I've seen Tret super soldiers. They hunt here on occasion. They're nowhere near as readily chaotic or ready to try new things as you Undaunted are, Shadowflight says before chuckling. And that's not even brushing up against how you just casually keep going for hours and hours without even considering taking a break, or the fact that you easily inhale enough food for all of us and consider it a snack. I'm a big man. I have a big appetite, Santiago protests mildly. You eat more than a Canador, Shadowflight says. Not my fault that 12-foot women are still lightweights, Santiago says, right before the theater lights dim ever so slightly, and there's a slight cheer from the crowd. The big screen shifts, and there's a moment of a layering effect. It's some kind of axiom trick so that no matter what angle you're watching it from, it looks right side up. Then the screen lights up to show a Sonier woman in a formal suit that seems to be made entirely out of gold scale, and she takes a bow to the audience. Hello, my beautiful people. Welcome to this season's Hunt Falls, where only the best of the worst are here for your entertainment. I am your host, Deep Swoop, born and raised here on beautiful Skathak. This season's Huntfall has been sponsored by Canid Solutions' new line of power armor, several of which we will be seeing doing their level best to keep the well and truly incompetent alive. And somehow, these miracle machines do. Let's see for ourselves. She moves to the side to show another screen zooming up until she's a small figure in the corner. It shows the lava canyons, and Deep Swoop brings out a golden wand that extends. See this? Right here? This is our first idiot in our sponsor's armor. Look at the sleek lines and the numerous indication lights on it. Note that several are turned off. This woman isn't using the internal weapon links. Silly thing's half blind in there. The woman, of an unidentifiable but clearly bipedal race, holds up a gauntlet, and Deep Swoop clucks her tongue in disapproval. Deactivated weapon link but active onboard weapons. Not good. The armored woman takes careful aim with the increasingly glowing cannons mounted on her shoulders, and they then fire concentrated beams of power. And miss. The woman in the power armor misses a building-sized target 30 meters away. Wow. Even Deep Swoop is stunned. I've watched this clip 5 times to cut it just right, and I still struggle to find the words to describe how bad this shot is. She just missed a target that big from that close, and get this, the serpent didn't even notice. She still has the element of surprise. Oh my Lord in heaven. Someone take that weapon away from the woman before she hurts herself. Santiago mutters in the incredulous theater. I mean, seriously. We need a license to drive an air car here on Skathak, but these idiots can wear a piece of battle armor that powerful. Who did she bribe and how much did she throw at them? Thankfully, after this crowning achievement of absolute failure, we have some more silly, goofy, and just plain fun bits of entertainment instead. But I just want you all to know, they don't get much dumber than this, Deep Swoop announces before laughing a bit at the end. Next clip, the hostess calls out and there's a screen flipping animation. Now we need a palate cleanser. Form that sheer fail. Are there any gardeners in the audience? Because these women are planting faces. A jaunty tune starts up, and immediately it shows a woman slamming into the wall of the trench and embedding herself in it. Right in tune with the notes, 4 more women are seen slamming into the body of a moving lava serpent, and it's always face first. The harder ones actually cause the serpents to turn around with what's almost a baffled expression on their faces. A roar of an engine carries him into the air on a plume of white and dark gray ash as the bike itself turns in the air. A huge heave of his abs, and he pulls the bike around to force it to turn as hard as possible, and he just barely sticks the landing. Robin lets out a whoop of excitement as he turns the bike to the side to flow down the ash dune and then shifts to take off through the dust and kick off a massive plume to either side. The ash may be lighter than sand or dirt on the top level, but the ash just below is stuck together and gives him great traction while also giving him huge curtains of ash and dust to kick up with every move he makes. The solidity starts off about half an inch in. He kicks the engine into a higher gear and starts climbing a dune sideways and kicking off huge curtains of light ash that dance through the hot wind on the outskirts of the city. Then he spots something and stops dead while drawing a banger pistol to point at the figure that's been revealed by the falling ash. He reaches out with his axiom senses and then holsters the pistol in his jacket. You shouldn't sneak up on people. It makes them assume you're up to something. Sorry, the young Yaoya says. I saw all the ash being kicked up and wanted to take a look. Oh, well, this is just dirt biking. Nothing too exciting. Just a lot of fun, he says. Oh, I see. I need to go, she says before running off, and Robin lets out a soft cluck. Well, so much for dodging the heartless lawyer stereotype. Robin mutters to himself before he hears something, and he checks the radar on his bike. Something's coming and... Shit! Girl! Get over here! Now! What? The Yaoya asks in shock. She's not visible yet, and he can only see her as footprints in the ash, and he quickly turns around his bike and blasts towards her. Truck coming! Big one! Robin calls out, and she doesn't seem to move. Is she stunned? Confused? Doesn't matter. He accelerates, and his arm wraps around her waist just in time for the nearly silent truck to blast over the top of a dune, and he pulls her well out of the way before stopping some distance from the large vehicle that slams on the brakes hard and skids to a stop nearby. You okay? He asks her even as he repositions the now very clingy and clearly scared girl so he can drive and hang on to her at the same time. Oddly enough, there's a distinct lack of the typical softness in most alien races. Has she gone through a mastectomy? He can, however, feel the boxy, hard shape of a communicator in her back pocket. That nearly hit me, she says, while still not visible, but with his axiom sensing open, he can tell the cloak is around an arm pointing at the truck. It did nearly hit you. He agrees, and she clings on harder. You can relax, you're fine. The large, boxy vehicle has part of its side flipped down to reveal a set of stairs, and a small figure with green skin comes out to smile. I thought so. Big human playing with a vehicle on the ash dunes? Fun. So, wait. Something weird's happening, the Gobi proclaims before stopping and reconsidering the situation. The girl currently clinging to me is apparently too shy to be seen, and it nearly got her killed just now, Robin says in a neutral tone, and the Gobe's eyes go wide before blinking. But there's no communicator on my sensors. My radar would have pinged anyone with any amount of tech on them, the Gobi protests. She would have pinged mine too, but instead I only saw her when the ash I kicked up landed on her. Robin calls back, and there's a shiver from the Yaya in his arms. I just wanted to be alone for a bit and, she says, and Robin sighs. Could you fade into visibility, please? It's very awkward to talk to a ripple in the air, Robin says, and after a few moments a Yaya teen, perhaps just barely out of her preteen stage, fades into view. Uh-oh, the Gobi states and runs a hand through her blue hair. Seriously, girl, invisible might be nice to have, but it means you can get run over easily. No kidding, but no one's hurt, so no harm, no foul. Now, where should I drop you off? And can you please turn on your communicator or something? I can feel one in your back pocket. I just wanted... You can be alone all you like, but please do it where it's safe, Robin says. Okay, she says, and he nods. All right, so where to? He asks her. She gives him an address, and he punches it into the bike's computer. All right now. Great. I come out here to meet someone and things go weird and now I can't, the Gobi complains. I'll be back, Robin says, and the Gobi snickers. Is that your way of saying you're some kind of synth? She asks. What? Robin asks, completely confused. Terminator, come on, great movies, the Gobi exclaims, and Robin chuckles. Fair enough, it just wasn't on the mind. Also, Judgment Day was the better movie, don't you even at me. What? No way. The horror of the first one was so much cooler, not to mention seeing a man being so protective and strong against an unstoppable force was so cool, the Gobi protests. Are you kidding? You get that in the second one, but even better. Not to mention that absolutely perfect bike chase with the transport truck. They had to recycle the plot like chumps. And the featureless shape-shifting metal thing. That's stupid. Really? Time travel is good, but a liquid metal robot is too much? Come on, Robin argues. Oh, that's something you don't want to see on the battlefield or under the sheets. Deep Swoop announces as a rich hunter on what seems to a luxury yacht with a force field sticks the barrel of her weapon out of the protective barrier, and the tip immediately catches fire. If the burning sensation persists, call a doctor, Deep Swoop says while giggling. Oh, I should have gotten a urologist sponsor or something. Hey,